After 50, excess weight isn't just about how you look in the mirror. Sometimes you feel completely fine. Nothing hurts. Your blood pressure seems normal. Your blood sugar may still be within the normal range. And you think, I've gained some weight. What's the big deal? But here's the problem. Obesity can begin affecting your body long before you develop obvious symptoms. And some of those changes are easy to mistake for a normal part of getting older. You get more tired walking up the stairs. I'm just getting older. You don't sleep as well. It's probably hormones. You get out of breath more easily. Well, I'm over 50 now. But sometimes, it's not just age. Today, I want to show you 5 ways obesity can affect your health after 50, including a few that many people don't realize are connected to excess weight. And at the end, I'll explain why you don't need to reach your ideal weight to start seeing health benefits. Let's start with something many people don't think about. Excess body fat can put additional strain on your cardiovascular system. Think about what your body has to do every minute of every day. Your heart has to pump blood throughout your body. And as the amount of tissue increases, the cardiovascular system has more work to do. If blood pressure also rises, the strain can increase further. And here's the tricky part. High blood pressure often has no obvious symptoms. You can go to work, take care of your family, go shopping, feel perfectly normal, while your blood pressure has been elevated for years. Over time, uncontrolled high blood pressure increases the risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke. That's why, after 50, one of the simplest things you can do is actually know your numbers. Check your blood pressure regularly. And if it's consistently high, talk to your doctor. Don't wait until you feel something is wrong. Because when it comes to blood pressure, feeling fine doesn't necessarily mean everything is fine. And there's another encouraging point. For people who have obesity and high blood pressure, even modest weight loss can improve blood pressure and other health markers. So we're not talking about losing 50 pounds overnight. Even relatively small changes can matter. Now let's talk about another system that's strongly connected to excess body fat: your blood sugar and insulin. When there is too much body fat, particularly excess fat around the abdomen, the body's cells can become less responsive to insulin. This is called insulin resistance. In simple terms, insulin helps move glucose from your bloodstream into your cells, where it can be used for energy. But when your cells become less sensitive to insulin, your body may have to produce more insulin to keep blood glucose under control. At first, you may feel absolutely nothing. And that's one reason prediabetes can come as a surprise. A person may feel healthy, while blood sugar regulation is gradually getting worse. For some people, that process eventually progresses to type 2 diabetes. But here's the good news. This isn't necessarily an inevitable part of aging. Regular physical activity, a healthier eating pattern, and losing excess body weight when appropriate can improve insulin sensitivity and reduce metabolic risk. So if you're over 50 and your weight has been steadily increasing, don't focus only on the number on the scale. Talk with your healthcare provider about whether you should be checking things like fasting glucose or A1C. Because sometimes the most important changes are happening before you feel anything at all. Now let's talk about something many people notice much sooner. Your knees, your hips, your lower back. Maybe you start thinking, I can't walk as far as I used to. Stairs are getting harder. My knees hurt after a long walk. Excess weight can increase the mechanical load placed on weight-bearing joints. And then a frustrating cycle can begin. You have pain, so you move less. You move less, so you become weaker and less fit. And because movement becomes harder, you move even less. It's a vicious cycle: more weight, more joint stress, less movement, less strength, even less movement. That's why I wouldn't tell someone with obesity and painful knees, just start running. Running may not be the right starting point for everyone. A better option might be walking, cycling, swimming, resistance exercises, or another form of activity that your body can tolerate. And if you're experiencing significant pain, it's worth talking with a healthcare professional or physical therapist. The goal isn't to punish your body with exercise. The goal is to make movement possible again. There's another connection that doesn't get enough attention: sleep. Obesity increases the risk of obstructive sleep apnea, a condition in which breathing repeatedly becomes restricted or stops during sleep. And the strange thing is you may have no idea it's happening. You can spend 7 or 8 hours in bed and still wake up exhausted. You need coffee just to get through the morning. You struggle to concentrate. You're sleepy during the day. And sometimes the person sleeping next to you notices the problem before you do. Things to watch for include loud, persistent snoring, gasping or choking during sleep, someone noticing pauses in your breathing, morning headaches, or significant daytime sleepiness. If any of these sound familiar, don't simply assume it's part of getting older. Talk to your doctor about your sleep. Because treating a sleep disorder isn't just about getting a better night's sleep. It's about protecting your overall health. And this brings us to what I think is the most important point. The biggest concern with obesity after 50 isn't necessarily one single disease. It's the way several risk factors can start accumulating. Higher blood pressure, insulin resistance, a greater risk of type 2 diabetes, joint problems, sleep apnea, less physical activity, loss of muscle and physical function. And then something happens. We start telling ourselves, I'm just getting older. But aging isn't the only explanation. Some of these changes may be influenced by excess body fat and physical inactivity, and some of them can be improved. That's why I don't like the phrase, after 50, there's nothing you can do. There is. And you don't have to completely transform your body to make a difference. And this is probably the most important message in this entire video. You don't have to become thin. You don't have to weigh what you weighed at 25. And you don't have to chase a smaller number on the scale forever. If you have obesity, even a modest amount of weight loss can provide meaningful health benefits. The goal is to stay strong, mobile, independent, and healthy for as long as possible. So if you've realized that your weight may be affecting your health, don't try to change everything overnight. Start with 3 things. First, know your numbers. Keep track of your blood pressure, and talk to your healthcare provider about appropriate screening for blood sugar and other risk factors. Second, move every day in a way your body can handle. Walking is a great place to start. And as you become stronger, consider adding resistance training. Third, don't think only about eating less. Think about protecting your muscle. Prioritize protein-rich foods, nutrient-dense meals, and a sustainable eating pattern rather than another extreme diet. You don't need a detox. You don't need a miracle supplement. And you don't need to lose 20 pounds in a month. Small, sustainable changes can be much more powerful. Save this video, subscribe to the channel. Here, we talk about what really happens to our bodies after 50, and what we can actually do to stay healthy, strong, and active as we age. And if this video made you think about someone you care about, share it with them. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.